Hey kids, this is Ivan. How you doing? Well, I got some neat stuff in the mail today. I got some Ubiquity dice. These are three of them out of 7/9. I got two sets, and figured what the heck. Don't have any fudge dice. Played some fudge with JDRD 30, and I kind of like the mechanics. So why get blue fudge dice when you can get black ones? So I got a set of four of those. So hooray for me! I got new toys. New spy camera coming in the mail. So I'm not going to talk about that today. On the RPG Brigade Facebook group. I'm going to butcher this poor person's name, but Neftali Ramos, he shared Infinite Roleplay's post, and I'll just read a little bit of it because it's very thought-provoking. There's already been a bit of a discussion there, but I thought this is a worthy topic of throwing up and generating some more discussion. It says in RPGs we play heroes, adventurers, and sellswords for the most part, all of which end up having to take life, and not just one or two, but over the course of a campaign or even a one-shot, our characters can rack up quite a body count, and I know this is true from personal experience. Now, we as players can, of course, rationalize this because it's fiction, but in the interest of roleplay, how do our characters rationalize it? So I'm going to take a snapshot of where I am right now with this. And like I've said recently in other videos, I don't want to just pontificate on this. I'd like to generate some discussion, so it's not just what does Ivan think. So having said that, I'm going to tell you what I think. My first reaction to that is I don't think about that an awful lot. Second, reaction, I guess, is, I don't mind if my character, if I'm going to role play my character to a certain extent, if I feel that they're having some difficulty with that or that's changed them or affected them, in play somehow either saying that, having a conversation with the other characters as we're doing something, or maybe changing a little bit of my the character's affect or mannerisms. That's one thing. That's cool. But I don't want to role play the session in the psychiatrist's couch, nor do I want to role play a monologue where I go and deeply explore how my character's been affected by the fact that he's, killed countless orcs and men and women and children and, God, what else? Whatever you kill in these games, blown a bunch of stormtroopers to hell, etc. That's not something that appeals to me. The fun factor is gone at that point. And, I certainly like role playing, but there's times when I'm that guy that, I've just had a hard week and I just want to go kill some orcs. And, gaming isn't always about escapism, but sometimes, hey, I want to go kill some orcs. Now, and of course, that's me as a player rationalizing this because it's fictional. And I don't necessarily always want to my character role play their reaction to it. The second thought I had, maybe it's the third. Was it the third? I'm not. Are you keeping count? Is a lot of times the genre doesn't support that, and I think if you all of a sudden go down this avenue where the character is really exploring, how this has affected them, you break the genre. And what I mean by that, role-playing games are not movies or TV shows, nor are they books, but they have a lot in common. In terms of the genre and the feel and the theme and the style. And so I'll just rattle off a few just that I've watched recently because when I give platelets and so you're stuck there, you have to watch the movies. I've watched like the Lara Croft Tomb Raider movies, and she doesn't rack up a huge body count, but there's a body count. But in that genre, that's cool. James Bond, there's a body count. Raiders of the Lost Ark, small body count, but some people die for sure. What is it? I was like Bruce Willis. I watched Die Hard, because that was one of them that was available. I think I talked in the past about watching Red. Quite a body count, but that's part of the genre. And you're breaking that genre if all of a sudden you segue into these characters, having some kind of midlife crisis, or my goodness, what am I doing, or what does this all mean, or having post-traumatic stress disorder, or whatever. And at the same token, in a lot of fantasy settings and a lot of sci-fi settings, the unstoppable Barton in the Demo trilogy wasn't having an existential crisis over this, nor was Scar in Glory Road, and you can go on and on with various stories. It just wasn't part of it. Starship Troopers, the book is good, much better than the movie. The movie's a lot of fun, but you get where I'm coming from. It's just genre breaking to go down that road, so it doesn't interest me. It doesn't interest me because it's not fun, and because also at that point, that's where I want my simulationism, I guess, to end. I don't mind a little bit, or perhaps I decide that, this character I've already, or I've determined through play that he's more sensitive or whatever. Then that's cool. Maybe I find it much more interesting for the characters to argue a little bit about what they're going to do. Are they going to kill this helpless prisoner or not? Or geez, we've already done something. We've already killed some people. I'm like, man, maybe we shouldn't have done that. That's interesting. A little bit of role play about that, but a big giant foray down that rabbit hole, not interesting. And I've said before that I like games that are action based. I like things to happen. And the flip side of that is I don't want to go down that road too much in terms of too much introspection, because it breaks that kind of game. So if you like that kind of stuff and you want to do it, have at it, have a blast. For me, it's not interesting. And so yeah, I'll rationalize it because it's fiction, and I'll role play it a little bit with my characters, but I'm not interested in role playing it to a level that I guess would be realistic in real life, because they're not real life characters. I like playing people that are a little bit, I guess, pulpy and cinematic and a little bit larger in life or different, regardless of whether it's fantasy, whether it's Lamentations of Flame Princess, or some of these other games I'm looking at now. So what's your take on all this? Enough of me. What do you think? Give me a response, video, comment, whatever.